Thanks to everybody for attending today. I appreciate the opportunity to tell you what we have to offer you. Usually I work in Bowie, Maryland at the National Training Center where I am a TOW instructor for the national program. A little bit of background on the BAC. It's the oldest continual union in North America. It was organized in 1865. We're located at 100 Kingston Drive, Monroeville, PA 15235. And we're going to give you a little bit what we can offer you. Great wages, health coverage, retirement plans, annuities and pensions, but most importantly, training. We all know that not everybody's willing to or wants to go to college, and trades is the perfect opportunity where you get to use your hands. You get to see what's done. There's an artistic side to pretty much everything. Every trade that we offer, we teach here. Math skills are always essential in everything that we do. I kind of use this like a state school. 4 years of college usually puts you in around $90,000 in debt. If you're going to be in the trades, you earn as you learn, and you can make anywhere from $125,000 to $200,000 in no debt. Ours all gets broke into, it's a 4-year program. The trades that we offer are brick. It's a 4-year apprenticeship. There's a brick helper. That's if you're not really ready to be up on the scaffold, you can learn as you go as a brick helper. Refractory is a 4-year program. Restoration, if you like heights and hanging off the sides of buildings, restoration is the way to go. It's really booming because they're not tearing down buildings anymore, they're restoring them. So that's a thing. If you're not afraid of heights and hanging off the side of buildings, that's the way to go. Stonemasons is 4-year apprenticeship program also. There's tile setters, there's tile finishers, and our programs were registered with the Department of Labor. So we have standards. You have to have 144 classroom hours per year, plus 1,500 on the job training hours to achieve a 10% bump. So if you start at 50%, a lot of them are 18, just say PCC is like $18.65 an hour, but that's not what the total package is. With all the benefits, the healthcare, your annuities, your 2 pensions that the contractor pays for, you're around $30-some an hour. So you get a 10% bump every 1,540 on 144 classroom hours. You must have them both according to the Department of Labor. Our main concern and our main goal here is safety will always be first. Okay, we teach OSHA 30 and fall protection, scaffold training, ICRA, which is infectious control risk assessment. The continuing education that we have here is always encouraged. You must complete your apprenticeship first. We also have historic masonry preservation. It's a week-long course down in Bowie, Maryland, where there's an extensive classroom and then a hands-on portion. ACT, which is the advanced ceramic tile certifications, which is national certs. We have a welding program where the success rate down in Bowie, Maryland is like 98%. We have a great instructor there. And then but air barriers, there's so many more. Those are just some of the ones that we do all the time. So my question is this: are you ready to earn while you learn? This is our website. It's at baclocal9pa.com. It gives you a rundown on everything. There's applications on there. There's a practice test so you could see what kind of test you're getting into. Because we're multi-craft, some of our test goes to 30 seconds when it comes to fractions and stuff like that. So We have to cover all the trades, and everybody's trade is held to a different standard. So, questions?
Joe, I was wondering if you could give a little bit more information about students who may be interested in art type careers that might not be thinking of something like this. Because I know the first time that I visited there several years ago, it was surprising to me to think that you could be very artistic and be interested in arts, but that this was something that you could get into.
So what we have here is, obviously, with the tile programs right now, designers are and architects are really into doing unique things. So we don't usually get to pick them. They pick them, and we got to make them happen. So from radiuses on floors to angles and serpentines, terrazzo embodies a lot of that. And if anybody's ever been out to the airport, they put all that fancy artwork into the floor, and that's a union terrazzo worker that did that from Pittsburgh. Those guys were from Pittsburgh that do stuff like that. There's brick is even getting artsy too. They do twists on columns, and everything's round. Nothing's just a square box anymore. So in class, we encourage you we give you projects, and we let you use your imagination, and it helps. Like I said, math is an important part of all the trades that we offer here. You can do the math, you can make anything. And if you want to do it in your house or entryways, and the sky's the limit artistically, what you can do with it.
Great. We had a question come in through the chat that asked, do you offer any pre-apprenticeship programs to work with high school students?
So what we're doing, the pre-job program that we offer is usually in Bowie, Maryland. So when the kids are coming out their senior year, when they decide they want to go, and someone puts them in our direction, we send them down to Bowie, Maryland. It's an 8-week program. They know nothing when they walk out. When they leave the 8-week program there, they are functional on a job. They get housed, they get fed. It's like a college campus. So you just walk from the dorm, you walk across the parking lot, and you're in the training area. You're there from 7:15 till 3:30 every day. If you want to come home on the weekends, that's fine. If you want to stay, that's fine. They give you a $50 stipend a week. So it's a constant flux of students from all over the country and out of the country. We have Canadians come in. I've had somebody from Nigeria I've taught. So I get them from everywhere. It doesn't matter, male, female. All we ask is, can you do the job? The workforce is shrinking in construction. In the next 5 to 10 years, we're about 85,000 construction workers short. That's devastating. That's throughout the country. Here at the local, just at Local 9, you would not believe how many college 4-year degree people that are working in the trade.
We have another question. Could you talk about the type of welding that's in your program? Is it for the structures for the masonry sport?
Yes, that's what it's for. It's not for fancy, in the little things. It's for hanging anchors and lintels in massive buildings. So they have overhead, 3G and 4G. So they get put through the paces, and the local level right now, we have a retired steam fitter who is our welding instructor. He's very good. He'll put you through the paces, and you'll pass or you'll fail. There's no in-betweens. If you go down to Bowie, Maryland for the welding program there, it's usually 2.5 weeks. It usually costs, I think it's $100. No matter if you're a member, it's $100. So, but you come out with your jacket, your gloves, your helmet, your face shields, and all that. And they bring in an outside company to take your welds. And so no one says any favoritisms or anything like that. So there they do a third party. Here, after you say you're ready to test, the instructor here will test you and they'll give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And you always have the opportunity to come back and do it again. We don't say you failed, that's it. We don't do that.
We had another question. Is there an opportunity for students who attend a VOTEC or a career technical center that are successful in their programs to have advanced placement in your program, or even to build partnership and pre-apprenticeships?
We encourage it. We go and do their NOCTI test. And so I go grade their test for them. And we tell them all, they come into the program, they're usually already ready to go. And they usually go right out to work.
I was wondering, a lot of times we hear from students who say that, I just don't feel like college is for me. It's just not something that I want to do. And I think a lot of times they realize that, or they don't realize that it could be an option down the road if it's something that they would aspire to do as well. But a lot of times this is a better fit for many students. And I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about what your classroom time actually looks like.
What we have is like OSHA 30, for example, the 144 classroom hours is technically 18 Saturdays. So I usually split them up with 9 hours. Say we start in August and we finish end October, beginning November. And then we take a break for all the hunters and everybody that likes to do the outdoorsy thing. Then we come back the week after New Year's, and then we go to the end of March. So I always put extra classes in. So if something happens, because stuff happens, you get sick, a wedding, we just tell you, you got to get 144 if you want to get the next bump and you're getting to work the work hours. So what we're trying to do here now is by opening the training center for guys that are laid off, that are apprentices, they get, if they do 3 weeks, 3 days, that's 144 classroom hours. They're done for the year. You might have math class for 2 hours in the morning, and then you're in the lab. Or we'll give you a project, we'll be in the classroom, we'll explain it, show you like a blueprint of it, then you got to go make that happen. So we try to take the classroom stuff, make it applied to the lab stuff.
Okay, we had a question come in. Are the training hours paid as well?
No, you work during the week, you learn on the job, and on the weekend is on your time. All right, now if you're at the National Training Center, they give kids $50 stipend a week.
I was wondering if you could maybe talk about kind of two things: the different work environments that maybe students can expect to be working in. Is there still a lot of outside? Is there some inside? What, if you're talking to a student, what would you say maybe where you'll be working if you're a bricklayer? And could you also maybe address untraditional students, maybe females,
Okay.
someone that you don't normally think of? If you could talk a little bit about that.
If you're a bricklayer or a stonemason, there's a good possibility that you're always going to be outside. So you're going to be really hot in the summer and dusty. In the winter, you're going to be really cold and muddy. If you're hanging off the side of a building, the cold, it's seasonal. There's a trade, terrazzo, it's inside. Tile, ceramic tile, marble and stone is inside. That's my trade. And I really never, when I first got in, it was tough because no one knew me. But if you work hard and you're dependable and you show up every day and you want to learn, they will take you under your wing, and the sky's the limit. How far do you want to go? I tell all my students when I have them, I don't care if you're a male, I don't care if you're a female. If you want to do something, it's your dream, you can do it. I see a student, and with my students, all I care about is, can you do the job? That's it. It makes no difference. I had a 55-year-old grandma, and she humped tile with the 18-year-old kids. There was no, it doesn't matter to me. Can you do the job? And she was good, but she was like the mom figure though there, and it was, the kids really gravitated to her. But when they seen her doing it, they weren't about to let grandma, she said, I'm a grandma, come on, let's go, So nah, there's certain things, stone's really heavy. I just interviewed a young lady. She's 22 years old. She wants to do stone. I said, who am I to tell you no? I would never do that. I would never tell a student no to something that they want. If that's what your passion is, do it. We're not ever going to step on anyone's toes. What do you want to do? When you start doing it, you might say, yeah, I might rethink it. And that's okay too. We don't pigeonhole you once you start. If you figure it out and you say, maybe I should do tile. I have 3 females in the tile trade right now that are doing outstanding. Like, contractors couldn't be happier. And a couple, they're all apprentices, and they're knocking it out of the park.
What is your area for Local 9? Like, if you're looking into jobs, what if you had to travel different places, what could a student be looking at? And on the other side of that coin, if they're interested in moving possibly out of state or somewhere else, what is it that they do to maybe get in touch with other places and maybe help with that transition to find a job in other states or in other areas?
I cover the whole western part of the state, even down into some of West Virginia. So all the way to Erie, Ridgeway, going toward New York off of I-80, Indiana, Johnstown, Somerset, going Altoona, all the way out there. Belonging to the union gives you the opportunity where there's need for a certain, say, bricklayer. In Oregon, and you're a union member and you want to go, make a phone call, I'm sending somebody out. There you go. It's that easy. I've worked from Pittsburgh all the way to LA and San Fran. I've covered it all. I did the Pentagon, so I was there for 21 months. You're not afraid to travel. There's plenty of opportunities to travel. So obviously you like to stay home, but sometimes, you might have to go to Ohio and work there all week and then you come home, or you're down deep in West Virginia. We get work all over the country. It all depends where the contractor's bidding. The company I used to work for does a lot of work in Virginia, Maryland, DC. So there's opportunity for travel. If you say you want to go, or your family's relocating and there's a local there, we'll relocate you.
And is there basically like a board that talks about the different opportunities across the country that you can say that you're interested in, is you could find out what there is?
Right. So if you come in and you said, I would like to go out to Iowa, I have family out in Iowa. Well, we have a union out in Iowa. I know the coordinator out there. They're using a lot of Facebook now. All the locals looking for bricklayer, looking for a PCC, tile setters. So they're starting to use that platform more so than the computer, because the kids are on their phone and it's just more convenient to put it on Facebook, and they'll put the rates on there, right on the looking for a bricklayer, 61.40 an hour. I mean, that's, now it's not your total that's your total package. Like if you were a bricklayer at 1865, your total package, what you're getting is 34.59. The rest of that the contractor pays, and it takes you about 6 months to get your health care. They pay $9.25 an hour for your health care. They have 2 pensions and an annuity. So if they play their cards right, 18-year-old, by the time he's 50, 55, he's a millionaire, just in his annuity, if you don't touch it.
And if you have work where maybe you're from here, but your work is taking you, that you have to go to Ohio or something for during the week and you come home during the weekend, is all the expenses paid for them as well while they're there on the job?
In certain trades, in the tile trade, the company is required to pay for your room, and then they give you a stipend for food. Um, always, that's always up for negotiation with the other trades. You know, how far away is it? Ours is usually out of town is 70 miles. So if it's 69.9, you're in town. They don't, they won't give you that 1/10. They just don't, you know. So but in the tile trade, we always get it. You know, once you cross that limit, they'll pay for your room. There's no out-of-pocket expense, and they'll give you a stipend, which I think is $50 a day to eat.
Well, thank you for being here. Joe, thank you so much for presenting. There was a lot of great information. Thank you all for being here, and we hope to see you at another virtual session. And Joe, thank you so much for presenting.
All right, thank you. You guys all be safe.